There's no way I can make anybody feel better with an apology, but I will. I apologize for the weather. I would like to invite any of the gentlemen, including the members of the graduating class, to shed their coats for the bulk of this ceremony. We will begin the celebration of this commencement and Founders Day by joining together in the singing of the first stanza of our national anthem. I call your attention to the United States flag on the stage to your left. This flag was given to the school by Mr. Frank T. Wachter of the class of 1928. This flag happens to have 45 stars, representing the number of states in the Union at the time Gilman School was founded in 1897. The small West German and Turkish flags on the backdrop are in honor of our two American Field Service students, Christian Fries and Ferhat Duru, who are members of the class of 1984. Following the singing of the national anthem, the audience is asked to remain standing for the invocation by our school chaplain, the Reverend Christopher Layton. Let us rise, please.
Let us pray. Eternal God, we give thee thanks for the rhythm of time, the seasons in their march, the stars in their courses, nature's impenetrable beauty. We thank thee for our ties to generations past and generations still to come, for the bonds of intimacy and loyalty that link us to families, friends, and the school. On the edge of a moment that will mark us for the rest of our lives, we thank thee for our vulnerability to truth, our capacity to reason, and our receptivity to such a vast constellation of feelings. As we draw attention to accomplishments that set us apart, let us not overlook the hopes and fears, the dreams and visions which unite us one to another. Amen.
"87 years ago this month, on June 25th, 1897, Gilman School, then known as the Country School for Boys of Baltimore City, came into existence. Since the first graduating class in 1903, Founders Day and commencement have been synonymous. This special occasion has marked a time to celebrate the completion of studies of new graduates and also to reflect upon the basic traditions of the school. It is a special privilege on this day to honor the class of 1984, a class which has achieved a distinguished overall record and has made a remarkably broad contribution to Gilman as well as to the larger community. One cannot reflect on the school year without being impressed by the great diversity of activities and accomplishments of the young men who sit behind me on the stage here today. They have been an especially enthusiastic, involved, and caring group. Although as individuals and also as a group, they have experienced some disappointments and setbacks and even personal tragedies, they have not allowed their enthusiasm and energy or their faith in themselves and others to be diminished. It is interesting to note the evolution and growth of this class, which has led to its present composition. 12 years ago, this past fall, 21 of this graduating class entered the first grade. As time progressed, more of their number joined this core group, particularly at grades 4, 7, and 9. 18 entered Gilman from Calvert School. 20 of the class are alumni sons. There have been many brother combinations. It is interesting to note that there are 6 members of this class, including Chris DeLeon, Chuck Edgerton, Jimmy Swindell, David Lurie, Willie Franklin, and Ben Hohen, who have 3 other brothers who have either graduated or will graduate, we hope, sometime soon. There are also many other 3-brother and 2-brother combinations. I might mention the 3-brother combinations: Richie Breitnecker, Jeff Burnett, Brendan Linehan, and Eric Pfeiffer. The class of 1984's academic record has been especially consistent and excellent, reflected not only by their grades and the number who have attained honors, but also by the general excellence achieved on College Board achievement tests and advanced placement examinations. It can also be said that this class really did combat the phenomenon of senior slump, for it has been very impressive indeed to witness the large percentage of the class that sustained effort and continued to generate enthusiasm for learning and involvement in the school, even after the long-awaited news of college acceptances and the onset of the balmy days of spring. As we of the faculty are particularly indebted to this class for their school spirit. Their impact upon the rest of the school has been very positive. They also have manifested close friendships and caring for one another. The class has made a significant contribution to Gilman's extensive extracurricular program and to the community at large. Especially noteworthy have been contributions in the creative arts, publications, public speaking, community service, and athletics. Certainly the class of 1984's leadership and dedicated participation in athletics are the principal ingredients which led to contention for Maryland Scholastic Association championships in almost every sport. In addition, the contribution of several of their number to the promotion of greater responsibility and concern with respect to social conduct and teenage alcohol abuse has made a most significant impact upon the greater Baltimore community. Above all, the class of 1984 includes people of character who give great promise for future service and contribution to society. We of the faculty believe that there is tremendous capacity for future leadership in this outstanding group of young men, as well as much untapped potential. We deeply appreciate their positive attitude and collective achievements while Gilman undergraduates, and we extend to them every wish for future success and fulfillment in their future endeavors. The highest level of scholarship achievement in the graduating class is recognized by selection as valedictorian. This selection is based upon a weighted average or of class standing during the 4 upper school years. It is my great privilege to introduce to you a person who has not only achieved academic distinction as measured by grades and class rank, but who also combines to an unusually high degree consistent dedication to scholarly achievement in every field, as well as significant accomplishment in extracurricular activities. He has taken a heavy course load throughout his high school career, which has included honors courses in every subject discipline, including all 3 lab sciences, mathematics, history, Latin, Spanish. He was elected to cum laude as a junior, and he is a National Merit Scholarship semifinalist. Most importantly, our valedictorian is an individual who, through his steadfast example of impeccable honesty and strength of character, has exerted an indelible influence upon all who have come to know him. This occasion marks his completion of 12 years as a Gilman student. It is indeed a great honor and privilege for me to present to you James Andrew Maffezoli.
Mr. Finney, members of the Board of Trustees, faculty, distinguished guests, and fellow classmates. When I was asked to give the valedictory speech, I wasn't sure what to say. There were so many things I wanted to include. How do you put 12 years of your life into 4 minutes or less? It occurred to me, however, that a good first step would be to find out what a valedictory is. So I went to Mr. Vicio, who, in his infinite wisdom, informed me that valedictory comes from the Latin word valedicere, which means to say farewell. And so, I come before you today to speak for the class of 1984 in saying farewell to Gilman and thank you to all those who helped us along the way. We have reached a point in our lives where we are much like a paratrooper on his first combat jump. We are excited and eager for the plunge into the real world, but we are also somewhat afraid to leave the security of the plane and to face the jungle of challenges, choices, and responsibilities that await us. Those fears, however, have been minimized, and our landing will be cushioned, for each and every one of us is equipped with our Gilman experience, which will serve as a fail-safe parachute. The fabric of these parachutes is woven of countless memories and achievements, and reinforced by excellence and strong character. I think this analogy also enables us to see that this day marks not only the end of what for many of us has been 12 years at Gilman, but also the beginning of our lives as independent adults. Perhaps the most important thing Gilman has done for us, which will remain long after the memories fade and the mechanical techniques grow rusty, is to have built or strengthened our character. Ever since first grade, we have been taught to set goals, to work hard to achieve those goals, and to always be kind and considerate. Our morals were shaped and tested right from the start, both by the guidance and example set by the excellent faculty and by the encouragement and trust of our parents. If we were to fall, which happened on occasion, there was the walking club, Mr. Snyder's couch, Mr. Hilliard's ruler, the demerit system, the law, and Mr. Gamper's left uppercut to get us back on the right track. In addition to learning right from wrong, how to handle the gray area in between, and what a firm handshake is, our character was strengthened on the athletic field. The coaches always stressed participation, improvement, and good sportsmanship. Whether it was losing the track championship to Forest Park by 1 point, or winning the wrestling championship by tying Mount St. Joe. We also experienced continual growth of character in the academic arena. Here, we were constantly pushed to the limit, learning to face challenges and decisions with determination. Just as on the sports field, in the classroom we learned to perform under pressure and to strive for improvement. The rewards were many, whether it was finishing a Latin or chemistry test, writing your first poem, handing in a history term paper on time, or being able to understand and criticize a literary work, or to read and write and fully comprehend a foreign language. After demanding participation and excellence in both academics and athletics, most schools would stop. But Gilman goes one step further. In the interest of preparing us to be active, responsible, and caring members of society, each of us has been called upon to participate in community service and extracurricular activities. An excellent newspaper and yearbook, a successful tutorial project, and the Students Aiding Friends, or SAFE program, are just a few examples of Gilman students giving of themselves in service to their community. In conclusion, I would like to draw upon the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, who said, and I think most appropriately so, quote, "The reward of a thing well done is to have done it," end quote. Today, we, the members of the class of 1984, can truly say we have done it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jimmy. Before the awarding of prizes, I want to inform you that the names of the recipients of all awards have been printed in the commencement issue of the Gilman News, along with the spring issue of our literary magazine, Vantage, which will be available outside the gymnasium after these proceedings are concluded. Most of the awards were presented at a special awards ceremony held on May 28th. The full text of the various award citations can be found in your graduation program. I now ask Mr. Mercer Neal, head of the upper school, to join me in presenting the William S. Thomas Scholarship Prizes. The William S. Thomas Scholarship Prizes for highest scholarship, emblematic of the first academic ranking in each form, have been provided by the will of the late Mr. William S. Thomas. Listed in your program are the names of the persons in whose honor the prizes are given. I ask that the following come forward as a group, leading scholars in each of the 4 upper school classes. Brian I-Chun Lee for the 9th grade, Richard Joseph Maffezoli for the 10th grade, Benjamin Robert Miller for the 11th grade, and James Andrew Maffezoli for the 12th grade, and that is indeed a brother combination. I also call your attention to all of those seniors, their names that have been, all the seniors who have achieved cum laude and academic honor roll. You will note in your program the names of those boys who were admitted to the Cum Laude Society either as juniors or seniors. Those seniors who have achieved the academic honor roll or an academic average of 85 or over have their names published in the current issue of the News. Underclassmen who have achieved the academic honor roll will be notified in the forthcoming mailing of the final grade report. We congratulate all who have earned these academic distinctions. Each year, the National Merit Scholarship Program recognizes outstanding high school seniors from all over the country. On the basis of the preliminary Scholastic Aptitude Test taken in the fall of the junior year, 2 groups of students are selected for their high performance on the test. Of the more than 1 million students who tested from the nation's 18,000 secondary schools, 5 members of the class of 1984 were named as finalists, 32 were selected as letter of commendation winners, and 1 was named semifinalist in the National Merit Scholarship Achievement Program for outstanding Negro students. From this number, I'm proud to present 1 senior a certificate recognizing him as winner of a $1,000 merit scholarship. Manuel Avaristo Mazog. In addition, one of our graduating seniors has been awarded a 4-year National Air Force ROTC scholarship to the University of Delaware based upon his achievement and overall record. This young man possesses all of the qualities which will make him an excellent military officer. I asked Robert C. Pennell, please, to come forward to receive this official certificate designating him I wanted you to know that it's a 4-year Air Force scholarship. Each year since 1965, Gilman has been invited to nominate 2 of our seniors to the John Motley Moorhead Scholarship Program for full 4-year merit scholarship at the University of North Carolina. This year, both of Gilman's Moorhead nominees, Jonathan Baker and Dennis McCoy, were selected as Moorhead Scholars. John Baker will be attending UNC this fall as Gilman's newest Moorhead Scholar. Dennis has decided to attend Yale University. We congratulate both of these fine young men. We will now proceed to the presentation of the 5 final awards listed in your program. The William Cabell Bruce Jr. Athletic Prize is awarded to the boy in one of the 4 upper forms most conspicuous for general proficiency in athletic sports and exercises over a 2-year period, and this without having incurred the reproach of questionable conduct in any respect. The award this year goes to a senior athlete who has earned 9 varsity letters and who was selected on the All-Metro football and lacrosse teams and was twice Maryland Interscholastic Wrestling Champion. It gives me great pleasure to present this award to Edward Woodman Brown III. The Daniel Baker Jr. Memorial Award is given to a member of the graduating class who, through thoughtfulness and by reason of his life and character, has contributed to the general welfare of his fellow men. The award this year goes to J. Roland Otto III. The Edward Fenimore Award is awarded to that senior whose Gilman career has been marked by extraordinary courage, determination, perseverance, and accomplishment. This year, it gives me great pleasure to present this award jointly to Jonathan S. Baker and Matthew Harris Joseph. The Peter B. Blanchard Award goes to that boy who, by his cheerful helpfulness in many ways, has greatly contributed to the successful and pleasant life of the school. This year, the award goes to two seniors, Albert David Hutzler IV and Bradford Burke Warrell. And the final award, the William A. Fisher Medallion, is awarded on the basis of scholarship, leadership, and character to a boy of high scholastic standing who, in the opinion of the faculty, has rendered the highest service to the school. The award this year goes to Dennis Charles McCoy, Jr. Gentlemen, it's very hot here, and you want to save a little bit of energy for the awarding of diplomas, I'm sure. Mr. Fielding may want to make an extemporaneous speech. You will note on the last page of your program brief tributes to three much esteemed Gilman people who are officially retiring as of the conclusion of this school year. As many assembled here today know, our school community conducted a celebration on May 6 in honor of Miss Helen K. Stevens and Mr. Charles R. Gamper, two remarkable people who have contributed a total of 87 years of devoted service to the Gilman School. On the occasion of our May 6th celebration, I had the privilege and honor to unveil a portrait of Miss Stevens, which is now proudly displayed in the lower school. It was also my privilege to announce on this occasion the establishment by the Board of Trustees of the Charles R. Gamper Scholarship Endowment Fund, the income of which will be used each year to assist deserving financial aid recipients. I asked the President of our Board of Trustees, Mr. Richard Thomas, and Mr. Dealey K. Nice, President of the Alumni Association, to join me in presenting to Ms. Stevens and Mr. Gamper two more tokens of Gilman's deep appreciation for their magnificent service. Would Ms. Stevens and Mr. Gamper please come forward? This is Ms. Stevens. Mr. Gamper. That's to Ms. Stevens. Easy now, easy. It is now my pleasure to call attention to a lady who has meant much to countless numbers of Gilman boys and teachers. Indeed, she has been the counselor and mother confidant of the entire upper school. She has done everything from supplying ties to forgetful students to sewing buttons on the jackets of headmasters. Most of all, she has been a tireless and an ever faithful secretary to Dean Charles R. Gamper. Mrs. Jean Higdon has served Gilman for 19 years with the greatest devotion and faithfulness. On behalf of all of us assembled here, I want to honor her on this occasion. Ms. Higdon. It has long been a tradition at Gilman to recognize each faculty member upon his or her completion of 20 years of service to the school. This year we have one teacher in this category. Mrs. Joanne Davison has served as Gilman's head librarian for 20 years. She is considered by her peers as one of the most outstanding independent school librarians in the nation. Will Mrs. Davison please come forward? I now call your attention to the second to last page of your program, which makes reference to faculty support funds. Gilman has been greatly blessed in recent years by magnificently generous people and families who have created various means by which to assist and enhance an invaluable faculty. Certainly one of the most central qualities of any school is the faculty, and any means to attract and retain outstanding teachers is of inestimable value. 4 years ago, Mrs. Edward K. Dunn, her daughter Annine K. Dunn, and her two sons, Edward K. Jr., Gilman class of 1953, and Pierce Butler Dunn, class of 1968, established a fund in honor and memory of Edward K. Dunn Sr., Gilman class of 1918. Mr. Dunn Sr.'s service to Gilman was unparalleled. He served as a trustee for 44 years, from 1925 when he was elected as alumni trustee to 1969 when he retired as trustee emeritus. He was president of the board from 1949 until 1956. The Gilman faculty was always uppermost in his mind, and he never failed to be supportive and to do whatever he could to assist in the hiring of exceptional people as teachers and to support the whole faculty. It is so very fitting that Mr. Dunn's wife, who has been steadfast in her long interest in Gilman, together with her children, have established the Edward K. Dunn Faculty Fund to honor and support Gilman faculty who, through exemplary strength of character and moral and ethical commitment, have made exceptional contributions to the development of the character of Gilman students. On this first occasion, when we are publicly announcing recipients of the Edward K. Dunn Faculty Fund, the Edward K. Dunn Faculty Fund, I wish to express deepest thanks to the entire Dunn family for their magnificent generosity. It is significant to note that the graduation today of Mr. Dunn's grandson, Peter, marks 75 years of unbroken association with Gilman School by the Dunn family. For Mr. Edward K. Dunn himself entered Gilman first in the 4th grade in 1909. It is a special privilege now to honor 5 Gilman faculty members as Dunn Fellows for the coming 1984-85 academic year. I ask Mr. Thomas and Mr. Nice to assist me in presenting framed certificates to the following: from the lower school, Mrs. Joanne Frisch; from the middle school, Mr. Ronald Culbertson; Mr. James Garrett; from the upper school, Mr. Sherman Bristow; and Mr. Christopher Layton. Will the following please come forward? It is now my great pleasure to announce the recipient of the Edward T. Russell Memorial Faculty Chair for the coming 1984-85 academic year. Following Mr. Russell's death on Memorial Day 1974, an overwhelming desire welled up from the Gilman community to do something which would help perpetuate the memory of this remarkable man. It is with the desire to remember and perpetuate the ideals and principles which were part of Mr. Russell's life and character that members of the Campbell and Russell families and many loyal Gilman alumni and friends raised sufficient funds to create a faculty chair. The person who has been selected as the recipient for the 1984-85 academic year is an individual who has demonstrated great devotion and loyalty to the school and Gilman students. He has been a member of the faculty since 1965, and he fulfills the criteria of this award to a remarkable degree. I am proud to be able to honor this exuberant and dynamic teacher today. It is a great pleasure to announce the selection of Mr. Anton J. Vishyo, Chairman of the... I would now like to call upon Mr. J. Richard Thomas, the President of the Board, to say a few words. Mr. Thomas.
Mr. Finney, members of the Board, ladies and gentlemen, and particularly you graduates of the class of 1984. I assure you this will be very brief. You heard the report yesterday, the speech yesterday, where our speaker said that in 51 of these such meetings, he doesn't remember one word that anybody said. Therefore, my being here is purely an honorary part to play to welcome all of you on behalf of the Board of Trustees to these ceremonies today. I will, if I may, just take a minute to say that to some of us, to all of us, I hope, this is a very special occasion because we are marking the retirement of three very special people. When I think of Ms. Helen Stevens and Charlie and Jean all graduating, it's just amazing to me to think that these three people represent 106 years of service, combined service to this school. And I think that's an incredible record that any school would love to say was part of their record. I am particularly appreciative, I must say, to Ms. Stevens, who ushered me into the lower school at Gilman in 1943, and I think I can honestly say that if it were not for her, I wouldn't have the privilege of being here today. These three people exemplify in every way what is good about Gilman, and they're going to be very sorely missed. However, they recognize that Gilman will go on and Gilman will build on the very strengths that they helped create right within this school. Gilman is a very remarkable place because we are privileged to be able to attract and retain in this school one of the most outstanding faculties of any independent school in this country. It's remarkable, too, that when you think about it, that the average length of tenure of our faculty is approximately 13 years. And there's not a private or a public school in the United States that wouldn't like to have that record. We strive at Gilman to recruit teachers who are willing, as Reddy said once, to put their roots down on Gilman soil and perform to the very best of their ability. It is therefore important that we continue not only to deserve, but to encourage the establishment of the endowment fund, such as the Edward K. Dunn Faculty Fund, from which the income is being used to supplement the salaries of those teachers who are picked to be honored yearly and whose roots we hope are firmly planted and who work so hard to excel in their chosen profession. If you remember nothing else about what's going to be said today, and I think I've just about said it all, I want you to remember that we at Gilman are proud of you, our faculty. We appreciate what you do, and we feel that we are offering to you parents and to the children of you parents one of the finest faculties, as I said before, of any independent school in this country. I would be remiss in concluding if I didn't also say to you, the class of 1984, we appreciate what you have done for Gilman. Gilman is a better school because of you, and as you go forth to the world, I just hope you'll remember that what you do and do not accomplish will always be a reflection, be it good or be it bad, on the life of this school and those that come after you. And to you parents, I would merely say thank you for putting your trust in us. We think we have done a good job. We have striven hard to do a good job. We have lots of problems ahead of us, but we have conquered our problems as time goes on, and we appreciate all that you have done to make your children's education possible here. On behalf of the board, may I just say to you, thank you for being here, and we hope that you will come again, even though you may no longer have a son in the school. Thank you.
We now come to the presentation of the diplomas to the members of the graduating class of 1984. This part of the ceremony represents the most significant event in the life of the school. As is our custom, the diplomas will be presented by the President of the Board of Trustees. The order of distribution has been determined by random selection. I'm asking Mr. Neal to assist me in calling out the names of the diploma recipients.
Dennis Charles McCoy, Jr. There you go, Dennis. Bradford Burke Worrell. Richard Carlisle Breitnecker. All right, you okay? You ready? Theodore Cook Waters III. David Randall Bimsteffer. Andrew Peter Stave. Christopher James Coughlin. Nelson Jeffrey Riallo. Robert Bruce Daniels, Jr. Scott William Shear. John Robert Pattison. Dan Richard Miller. Roland Dean, Jr. William Andrew McComas. Christopher Pell Fielding. Frank Robert Levy. Aaron Kennan Can. Albert David Hutzler IV. Lawrence John Glussman. Christian Fries. In addition to the diploma, Christian received an etching of the school. Peter Colt Dunn. William F. C. Colston. Peter Jefferson Burnett. Congratulations. Stanley Sagner. I will. Andrew Sterling Ashton. James Andrew Maffezoli. Clifford Roberts Wheelis III. Christopher Conable Bennett. Todd Allen Taylor. Paul Leighton Fowler. Henry John Schumann, Jr. Franklin Abram Gibson, III. Christopher Brett Redding. Robert Charles Pennell. Chase Falconer Monroe. Manuel Evaristo Mazog. Frank J. Goldman. Frank, congratulations. Brendan Earl Linehan. John Chul-Jun Kim. Christopher Neil Jacobs. Eric Carl Greenberg. Thomas Clift Jett. Richard Alexander Frisch. Another AFS student, Firat Duru. As with Christian, Firat received an etching of the school. Nicholas Dominic Cortese II. Benjamin Downing Hohen. Devin Lloyd Campbell. Vincent Maurice Procado. Edward Eugene Austin. Kenneth J. Saltzman. Paul DeBrell Sowell II. Douglas Lee Becker. J. Rollin Otto III. Michael Scott Shaftel. Eric John Pfeiffer. Harry Forrest Swope IV. Louis Martin Panlilio. Edward Woodman Brown III. William Arthur Groats III. Arthur Allen Gleckler. Thomas Randolph Fox Jones. William Dunkley Franklin. William Christopher DeLeon. Charles Stedman Garland Bolton. Mitchell Scott Rosenfeld. Daniel June Choi. Harry Maxwell Wagner. Stephen Allen Sussel. Don Dongki Lee. Matthew Harris Joseph. James Perrin Swindell. William Spedden Merrick III. William Holland Wilmer III. Charles Brady Marshall. Jerome Earl Lopez. Jonathan S. Baker. Jason Bennett Paragoff. Lawrence R. L. McCauley. Brian William Jones. William H. Winstead IV. Get young over. Yong Teek O. Frank Christian McChrystal III. Peter Kingman Gross. Here he comes. Matthew Peter Martinet. Paul Stewart Logan. Carlos Manuel Orbegoso, Jr. Joshua Myers Langenthal. Chase Joseph Sanders. Charles Manning Roebuck III. Richard Eric Ginsberg. Charles Calvert Edgerton. John Lafarge Coleman. Thomas Andrew Wilson. George Thomas Tyler IV. Howard Matthew Sobkoff. Christopher Gavin Chasney. Carol Lawrence Brown. Blair Isaac Berman. Andrew Howard Rosenstein. Francis Paul Nuttall II. David Michael Laurie.
Before the singing of our concluding hymn, I would like to remind the audience that the students, trustees, and faculty intend to recess from this hall immediately following the benediction. Underclassmen will go first as directed by the ushers, followed by faculty, trustees, and seniors in that particular order. We will now conclude with the hymn, Our God, Our Help in Ages Past, and then the final stanza of America. Thereafter, please remain standing for the benediction by the Reverend Layton. Let us rise and sing.
Let us pray. May the Lord encourage you to be inquisitive that you might ponder, bold that you might risk, receptive that you might discover, virtuous that you may apply your knowledge to a world that hungers for your insight, your creativity, and your compassion. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Amen.